This video is sponsored by BugCrowd. BugCrowd is the solution for helping organisations find and secure vulnerabilities in their services. It works by having a crowd of security researchers work independently or together for bug bounty rewards, which can be a simple thank you or up to $25,000 per bug. BugCrowd works with massive companies such as 1Password, Tesla, MasterCard, Western Union, Spotify and many more. So if you're looking to catch some bugs, earn some money, or improve your bug hunting skills, give BugCrowd a try at bugcrowd.com/jacktutorials. Hey guys, welcome back to a new episode of Explained. In fact, the first episode of 2017. In this episode, I'm going to be explaining the very important HTTP, HTTPS, and SSL/TLS. This is the protocol that helps us browse the internet and watch videos such as this one. So sit back, relax, and hopefully you might learn something. Don't forget to drop a like if you enjoy this episode, and also share it with people who might also enjoy this video. So to start with, we will talk about HTTP and make our way through HTTPS and SSL later. In 1989, a guy called Tim Berners-Lee, who worked for CERN, started development of HTTP. HTTP stands for Hypertext Transfer Protocol and is used to exchange or transfer hypertext. HTTP resides on the application layer of the OSI model, or layer 7. If you don't know what the OSI model is, click the little information icon, which will take you to an explain video I made about the OSI model. Anyway, HTTP is the foundation of data communication for the web, and this is how the web works when it comes to delivering web pages. Let's dig a little deeper into this protocol. It is a TCP/IP based protocol, and things such as images, text, documents, audio and video can all be transmitted through it. HTTP works on a request and response cycle where the client requests a web page. So for example, if you browse to google.co.uk, you are requesting a web page from the server and the server will deliver you a response. HTTP is a stateless protocol. What this means is that the server does not have to retain information or status about each user for the duration of multiple requests. However, this can be achieved by using HTTP cookies, server-side sessions, variables, and URL rewriting. When a client wants to browse a website, the first thing that happens is a request is sent to the server, known as a HTTP message. The server will prepare a response and send it back. A HTTP message is made of 3 blocks, known as the start line, headers, and the body. The HTTP message will be different depending on if the message is a response or a request. On screen now is an example of a request HTTP message. The start line contains the method, URI, and HTTP version. The headers are named value pairs, and there is no body because this is a request. Let's take a look at the start line. The method is like a command that is given to the server so the server knows what to do. In this case it is get. The two most important ones that you will have likely heard is get and post. The next bit of the message is the URI, which stands for Uniform Resource Identifier, which basically is a way that the server can locate a resource. We next have the version of HTTP the client is using. In the headers we have information and rules such as host, accept language, and accept. The host is the address of the server where we are sending the request. Accept language is the language, and accept is the file type we are requesting. As previously mentioned, there is no body in a request. Let's now take a look at a response HTTP message. We start off with the start line, however there is no method or URI as they are only used for requests. In a response, we have the HTTP version and status code. The code will tell the client if the request succeeded. These codes can be 200, OK, 404 file not found, 403 forbidden, etc. The headers will contain the same information as a request, and finally we have the body that contains the file we requested. The main issue with HTTP is that it's unencrypted, meaning it is insecure at transferring data between your computer and a server. It is popular to exploiting the man-in-the-middle attacks, and I have done lots of videos on it. If you're on a HTTP connection, anyone can put themselves in the middle and snag usernames, emails, passwords in plain text, credit card numbers, etc. Which is why it's important that HTTPS is used, which we will now talk about. So now you know what HTTP is and also the technical aspects about it. Let's talk about HTTPS. The S in HTTPS stands for secure. Other names given to this protocol are HTTP over TLS, HTTP over SSL, and HTTP secure. This protocol was designed to increase privacy on the internet when communicating with websites and sending sensitive data. This made man-in-the-middle attacks increasingly difficult as the data sent was no longer in plain text. It used to only be found on payment transactions on banking websites, however it is now widely used on many websites such as Google, Facebook, Twitter, and even jacktutorials.com. To secure your website, you're going to need to purchase something called an SSL certificate. These are relatively inexpensive and most hosting companies will offer them or a location where you can get one. An SSL certificate is like an online identification card. SSL certificates also encrypt any data that is passed through the HTTPS protocol. Now when a client requests data from the server, it looks at the SSL certificate which will verify the website's identity with the certificate authority. If everything is good, a handshake takes place where an encryption method is decided through SSL, known as a secure socket layer. Now when data is sent to and from the client and server, it is encrypted and decrypted, but if a man-in-the-middle attack takes place, this data is encrypted and unreadable.